What's up, guys? We're back with more DCS action. I've got a good one for you today because we're going to be looking at the Phantom. Yes, that is right. The Phantom finally dropped. One of the most anticipated aircraft that I can ever think about. For some reason, the Phantom, which has been around forever, but it was highly anticipated release. We finally got it, and you won't be disappointed. We're going to be diving into this plane a lot the next several weeks. But what I wanted to do today is just showcase the sheer number of skins that comes with this aircraft. All right, here we go. We got our window down at the bottom. Hopefully this will be okay. Just kind of gives you a good overall view of what the plane is. So yeah, this is the Moody Bird, 68th Tactical Fighter Squadron, Lightning Lancers. Let's go just all the way up to the top, and we'll just start from the beginning here. All right, next one is going to be 20th TFTS Tactical Fighter Training Squadron, maybe the Silver Lobos. It has GA on the tail, and this always throws me off, but this plane was actually out of George Air Force Base in California. I don't know where George Air Force Base was at, but it was somewhere in California, and this is one of the birds that flew out of there. So I'm not sure. It's called the Hill Gray scheme. I thought it was something different. Of course, that's in the name too, but I thought it had another name too. Hill Gray camouflage, also known as Egyptian 1, is used on some F-4 Phantom 2 aircraft. Let's see, there's two variations, Hill 1 and Hill 2. So while it's often called Hill Gray, the official name is not well defined. The scheme's nickname, Egyptian 1, came likely from F-16s and Phantoms in that scheme participating in joint exercises in Egypt. So yeah, either way, I like the gray scheme. I'm very familiar with it. When I was a kid, when I was a little boy, you used to have our F-4Cs fly over our farm all the time on low-level training route, and at like 500 feet, right, 450 knots. And this is a scheme that I like. I remember some in the old Southeast Asia scheme, but I remember a lot of them in this gray scheme too. So yeah, Hill 2, 20th Tactical Fighter Training Squadron, Silver Lobos. Next one is going to be the Egyptian Air Force, Gray Ghost, very nice. Let's see. Here is the Egyptian Air Force. This is going to be Hill 2 with some kind of decorations for them. I don't know anything about their squadron, so I can't tell much about it. Here's one in Southeast Asia. Another one for the Egyptian Air Force. Here we go. The Aegean Ghost for the Hellenic Air Force out of Greece. Very nice. I like the little kind of like pastel blues. Pretty cool. Aegean blue, a darker blue. Almost reminds me of kind of like a Navy aircraft in a way. Hellenic Air Force, Southeast Asia. Hellenic Air Force generic Aegean Ghost. No one with that light blue. Pretty cool, right? All right, next we have the Israeli Air Force 119 Squadron, followed by the 69 Squadron with the checkerboard on the tail. Those are really nice. Both kind of, I guess those aren't Southeast Asia schemes, but they're some kind of camo scheme. Next one. And these always confuse me because I have to think twice about this. All right, the first one here is going to be the Imperial Iranian Air Force. This is pre-revolution, okay? This is during the Shah's time when we were friends with Iran. So Imperial Iranian Air Force. Very nice looking airplane. And then the next one we have after that is Asia Minor, Imperial Iranian Air Force, but it has U.S. markings on it. So I'm not sure what the deal was with that, but I'm pretty certain it's probably based off a real aircraft. Either way, they both look really nice. All right, now we get into the post-Shah Iranian aircraft. This is going to be the Islamic Republic. Let's see, the Islamic Republic of Iran Air Force. There we go. Had to get that out. So this is post-Shah or post-revolution Iranian Air Force. So what we know is Iranian Air Force now. What else we got? We've got a few of these actually. 61st Tactical Fighter Squadron. It's interesting that they're the Islamic Republic of Iran, but they're like a U.S. Tactical Fighter Squadron kind of nomenclature, right? I don't know if they used that for a while before they transitioned. You know, that's what our Air Force was like prior to Air Combat Command. Is they had SAC, they had TAC, and they had MAC. So Strategic Air Command, Tactical Air Command, and Mobility Air Command or something like that. And so the organization was a lot different. You had tactical fighter squadrons back then. You had fighter interceptor squadrons, that sort of thing. Let's go to the last one here. Another Islamic Republic of Iran, F-4. All right, moving on. We've got the Royal Australian Air Force, the Aussies. Very nice looking bird, typical Southeast Asia scheme. I don't know how much variation there was in the SEA schemes. All right, next one is going to be the Republic of Korea Air Force, or South Korean Air Force. It's going to be a Hill 2. Like I said, there is a Hill 1 and a Hill 2. It's just a little variation in colors. Let's see. The next one is going to be a Republic of Korea, South Korean. It's going to be the 153rd Fighter Squadron. This one I really dig. The very light gray. It's almost white, but it looks really sharp. And the next one, Hill 2, 152nd Fighter Squadron. Another Korean aircraft. Nice little logo on the intake there. They're kind of plain Jane, right? They're not like really crazy. This was kind of like the dull period of the F4s anyway with the Hill schemes. I mean, honestly. Now we move on to the Turkish Air Force, and there are a ton of these. So we've got the Black Hawk here. We've got, even though it's got it labeled as Hill 2, that's interesting. All right, there's a Hill 2, but it's obviously a darker scheme, maybe. Very nice Turkish flag on the tail there. What else we got? Southeast Asia. Man, they've got a bunch of them from Turkey. That is for sure. Like, I dig the numbers there. That's pretty cool. You don't see that a lot. It's kind of like a throwback. We've got another Hill 2. Yeah, it seems like they use a lot darker color maybe. So it's like a hill pattern with darker colors, I'm guessing. Another Hill 2 with the look at the tail. Now, I don't know if that doesn't really mean anything to me. I'll have to research it, but either way, it's got the Phantom mascot on the tail and the Turkish flag and the pitchfork. That's really cool, in the flames at the bottom. That's really, really sharp. And the I dig the shark's mouth. That is way cool. Like, that is way different. You know, usually they're like red and white and black, but this is just black and white. Different take on it. The NATO, 70th NATO. So once again, we got the Phantom mascot. He has a name, right? I think he does. I think he was he had a certain name that they used or something. He's got the looks like a panther. I guess they're celebrating the 70th year of NATO. The existence of NATO. That's a really nice bird, though. Look how beat up she is in the paint there. The detail in these planes just absolutely blows me away, guys. I can't say that enough. All right, here we go. Another Hill 2. I don't know what this is. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but either way is really cool. I dig the tail flash at the top and the character there. Now we're getting back into the U.S. Air Force. This is the 57th Fighter Interceptor Squadron. They were based out of Keflavik, Iceland. So pretty famous fighter interceptor squadron. I think later on they got F-15s that they use. So very nice bird. I don't know why like the Keflavik birds did this. All white. It's almost like a throwback to the old traditional U.S. Air Force scheme that you saw way back in the day with like natural metal finish and everything. Either way, it looks really nice. Like the checkerboard on the tail there. Next one is going to be another one from the 57th. Pretty much the same bird. Maybe a little different. Let's see. Yeah, pretty close, right? There's not much difference between these two. Yeah, not a lot of difference. Next one is going to be the 163rd Tactical Fighter Group. So this one is actually a California Air National Guard bird. And let's see, the 63rd was... let me find it. It was 196th Tactical Fighter Squadron. So it's 163rd Tactical Fighter Group. The 196th Tactical Fighter Squadron is based out of California. I'm not sure where these guys are based out of California, but it's definitely a California bird. So I'm assuming California Air National Guard. Maybe I'm not sure. I think so. The next California bird, same thing. 196th Tactical Fighter Squadron, 163rd Tactical Fighter Group. Like I said, when you fly the F4, you got to be down with the TFGs and the TFSs and the FISs, and like you got to think old school, okay? You really do. They did fly into the Air Combat Command portion of the Air Force too, but they were starting to be phased out by then. Next one is going to be the 469th Tactical Fighter Squadron, the Tigers. I have no clue where these guys flew out of. We gotta look this up real fast. So this one I'm a little stumped by, but I think it's a Thailand bird. This is a scheme depicting the F4s that flew out of Thailand from 1965 to 1972 out of Korat's Royal Thai Air Base. So I'm guessing this is it's basically a Vietnam bird, really. But either way, it's really nice. JV on the tail. I don't know. I have no clue what JV means. I guess just a random tailcode they had. Nice stripe there, and of course this is like the traditional go-to shark's mouth on the F-4E. Like this is the one that you think of when you see it. That's why I like the black and white one so much, because it's kind of different from the other aircraft. All right, this is another 469th. So yeah, I'm going to say this one is Royal Thai Air Base, Korat. And of course, it's got some kind of nose art on it called Gator. I don't know what the story is behind this airplane. We'll have to research it a little bit more, but either way, very nice. It's a 1970 bird. Let's see. So Vietnam War was starting to wind down. All right, and the next one is the Moody bird we did. This is the 68th Fighter Squadron out of Moody Air Force Base in Georgia. Next one, Hill 2. This is going to be a New Jersey Air National Guard. This is 141st Tactical Fighter Squadron out of New Jersey. New Jersey Air National Guard. You see the Air Guard shield there. Next one is going to be a Osan bird, right? Osan, South Korea. 36 Tactical Fighter Squadron, the Flying Fiends in the Southeast Asia scheme. Very nice. OS on the tail is going to be Osan all day, every day. Either way, very nice plane. Let's see. Love the detail. Look at that. Just above the wing there. Just looks outstanding. And all the stencils and stuff on it. Next one is going to be Ramstein bird. This is the 526th Tactical Fighter Squadron out of Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany. And we've got a few of those. We actually got quite a few. We got, this is the Euro one, of course. This is one of my all-time favorites. But we do have some with a Southeast Asia wrap and a very much different shark's mouth design on this one here. It's kind of arced up instead of arced down. You know what I'm saying? Like usually they're kind of like they're smiling, and this one just looks like he's pissed off. Next one. This is a 512th too. 512th Tactical Fighter Squadron. Next one after that is a 526th. Another Ramstein bird, a very nice looking bird, very nicely detailed. Let's see, I dig the checkerboard. I always like checkerboards on Phantoms for some reason. Man, if you want to see some good looking birds, you need to get into the F4Js on the Navy side. Back during the 60s, like late 60s and 70s, they had some crazy, just gorgeous schemes on those planes back then. All right, next one is another, this is a St. Louis bird or a Missouri Air National Guard, and I think they were based out of St. Louis at that time. It's going to be another Hill 1 scheme. Very nice. So I think the Hill 2 has the gray that comes down around the canopy, right? If I kind of think back on it, of course, it's got the shark's mouth, pretty traditional looking shark's mouth there. Good looking plane. And the next one is one of my all-time favorites because it's a hometown favorites. Yeah, all right, this is the Hill 2, so it has the gray that comes down in front of or down around the canopy. This is going to be a Texas bird out of Fort Worth, 457th Fighter Squadron, the SPADs from the Air Force Reserves. There you go. AFRIS there. Air Force Reserve unit still flying to this day. I think they're getting F-35s now, right? They flew F-16s for ages. Back when they, and you see me on the channel fly the Spatbirds and the F-16. Originally, I don't know what TH stood for on the tail, but they did have TF. When they first started flying the Falcons, they had TF, and it was for Texas Falcon. And then eventually they got TX from another unit that deactivated that had the TX tail code. And I want to say that was like an Austin bird or something like that. Either way, very nice one. I like the hill too. I kind of dig it. All right, now we got to get to the Thunderbirds, right? There's not much to say about this. Beautiful Thunderbird scheme. This is absolutely gorgeous. We've got 1 through, what do we got? 1 through 7. We're not going to look all of them. They're all pretty much the same. Except the slot bird, number 4. Now, this is dead on accurate. If you don't know anything about it, you ask, why is the tail black? It's from the smoke. This was a slot bird. And so the tail of this aircraft was all the time buried in the smoke of the other aircraft during a formation. So they tried keeping it clean, and they couldn't keep it clean, and they finally gave up on it. And so this is the slot bird, and it looks like, I saw that and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. That is really, really cool. Then, of course, you're back to your traditional Thunderbird scheme. So very nice. We get all of them too, which is really cool. All right, now we're going to the 57th Tactical Training Wing. This is going to be a Nellis bird, Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada. This, I guess this was part of the the Fighter Weapons School, because there's the shield right there. So yeah, Fighter Weapons School bird out of Nellis. Euro 1, looks outstanding. Got the checkerboard, which I think a lot of the aircraft, the 57th aircraft, still use the checkerboard. We've got 1 in the Southeast Asia wrap. Another Nellis bird. WA. I don't know why they got WA, but either way, very cool. Now we go to the Japanese Self-Defense Force, and they've got some of the most outstanding birds out of all of them. This is going to be the final year. I guess this is the final year they flew. Yeah, 2019. So they flew them for a long time. This is, I guess it's a Hawk. And I love the detail of the feathers coming off the back end of the Hawk. It's a beautiful, beautiful airplane. Very brightly colored. If you want people to know like where you're at, fly this plane. You're not going to blend in with much at all. I guess this one is more of their traditional scheme that they flew, like their operational scheme that they used. So very cool. 301st Squadron, I guess is what it was. Looks like it's got some kind of bumblebee or something on the tail there. Let's go on down. That's almost like a digital it looks like a digital camo, but what it is like these little areas right here are where text is at, like stencils and stuff. And so they didn't paint that. And it kind of comes off like a digital camo, but it's really not. It's just where they didn't paint the stencils. And I don't know why they did that, because that just seems like, I guess they just masked it and then just sprayed this top coat of this gray color. But one thing that I love about this airplane, you don't appreciate this kind of detail a lot, but you don't think to appreciate it. But look at all the varying shades in the gray here. Like it's a little darker right here. It's a little darker along the spine, here on the tail. So it's like, it's the same color gray, but it's in different shades. And I think that is just really super cool. Next bird, same thing basically. I call it the digital camo, but it's really just not. It just kind of looks like it, but... final year in black, 302nd Squadron F4 final year 2019, basically the same as the Y one, just in black. Very nice bird. They went all out on their F4s, they did for sure. This is going to be the 3rd wing, 50th anniversary. So I guess it's 50 years of the F4 in the Self-Defense Force, maybe. Pretty cool with the yellow accents on it though. Not really sure what kind of design that is. Another one from the 3rd wing. Maybe this is more of a operational scheme. Once again, kind of the same deal with the stencils here. I think it's interesting how they did that. And then this one is going to be a true traditional, like, digital scheme, right? This thing is awesome. It is so loud, and I don't want to call it ugly, but man, it is just so loud. It is like in your face scheme. It really just is. This thing is so in your face. I guess it's that bright green is just sticking out. Either way, very cool. And now we're going to get into the German F4s. Phantom Farewell. JG71, 2013. So I guess they ditched their Phantoms in 2013. Yeah, just 1973. I can't quite tell. I don't want to move my view around. Either way, very nice looking airplane. Very cool. Got the German flag on the tail, and this looks like the Phantom character, except he's like in a World War I uniform or something, like a trench coat and the helmet. Really cool. Next one, I guess this is more like an operational scheme that they had. A little different take. I like his, it's kind of a subtle scheme, but it's still got some variation in colors. Next one, very cool. I like this one a lot. Like the tail, the rudder color there is pretty cool. All right, another one for JG74. Now, I've seen German F4s way back in the day at Red Flag. I got to go watch, and they were hosting German F4s then, and this is kind of what they look like that I can remember. They weren't anything spectacular, but another one, JG74 all gray scheme. Here we go. This is pretty cool too with the tan. It's like different variations of tan with a little bit of green on it, and then the red highlights on it there. It says Gaftic 1985. I have no clue what that means. And this one is going to be Gaftic 1986. Maybe that was some kind of exercise, and it has Garfield on on the inlet ramp here. You know what? I got it. Oh, we didn't change it up. Hang on. We'll go back to it here in a second. There we go. Gaftic 86. What does this say? Hey, pilot, one lasagna and something in German. I have no clue what that means, but that is really cool, man. That's such a nice little detail. So clear and crisp too. That's another thing. The textures on these are just so well done. They really just are. All right, let's back off again here. I like the heart on the intake. That's different as well. All right, so let's go ground crew. Let's go back to rearm, refuel. And let's see, we're still going, guys. This is not a crazy amount of schemes for this airplane. All right, more traditional German Air Force, I guess, operating scheme here. Either way, very nice. Looks like gray and green, right? That's it. It's just one shade of gray and one shade of green. Some kind of shield on the inlet there. Very basic, right? Just your run-of-the-mill German Air Force scheme. Farewell, Phantom flight test. Don't let me die. I want to fly. And there's the Phantom mascot there. Let me know in the comments what his name was. I'm almost certain he had a name. This is what, 1973 to 2013. There you go. Very cool aircraft. JG71. It says Richthofen. So I guess, is this his old squadron maybe? Is this like a carryover from that or something? This is just a basic operational scheme, right? It's nothing spectacular on it either. Fictional Royal Air Force. So yeah, I don't think the Royal Air Force ever had F-4Es. I don't think they did. But either way, very nice looking aircraft. It's dead on. I mean, I know they had F-4s. I just don't think they had the E model. But either way, it looks really, really nice. And then we got another Japanese self-defense force. This is going to be an RF-4EJ. So is this a reconnaissance bird? Like, I think some of them, they took the cannon out of the nose and they put a camera in there. I'm not really familiar with the RF-4Es. I know the RF-4Cs for sure because they used to fly over the house all the time. But either way, another really nicely done aircraft. And it's got Woody Woodpecker on the tail too, which I think is kind of odd. I don't know like what his relationship was to Japan back in the day, but there you go. All right, guys, this is all the schemes for the F4. I hope y'all enjoyed. Be sure to hit that like. Leave me a comment down below if you got anything to add about these different schemes. Love all of you, and we're definitely going to catch you in the air in this airplane later. So, peace. No, big cat. No, stop. Oh no, no, kitty. Oh, that's a MiG. That's a MiG over us. Okay, it's the weirdest day ever. Oh no, he just fell. He just fell.